Alrighty, it is a beautiful Monday night in the apocalypse. Hope everybody's had a very happy Monday. I haven't, but I'm going to fix that right now, because today we're going to do something a little special. We're going to play a fan game. A fan game that was so good that the company who owned the IP that's being used here let the game finish and be released before sending the takedown notice for it. You know, just to make sure that it got out there and it would never truly go away. Yep, it's that good. And it is AM2R, another Metroid 2 remake. Funnily enough, it doesn't have a category here on Twitch, so I put it in under just regular Metroid 2. Return of Samus, not Samus Returns, which is the official Metroid 2 remake, and one of the major reasons they had to have this project taken down after its completion release, of course. That doesn't mean that it's stopped being worked on, though. The original creator, of course, stopped working on it since he received a notice saying that he had to. But that was not until it had been widely disseminated, and so there are still people to this day working on the game, and they just released a new version of it fairly recently, the last couple of weeks, I think. They got up to, version 1.5, something like that. And they've added all sorts of stuff to the game ever since the original version of it came out, including like a randomizer mode, and a bunch of other cool stuff, including some things that were in Samus Returns, like the fusion mode used to like have quadruple damage for enemies, sort of thing. So, I'm gonna get started in just a minute or so. As soon as I find out where the window went, I'm not seeing it down on my taskbar. Where is it? Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. There we go. There we go. Now we're gonna have a happy Monday. Now that we got Metroid working. I can feel the day improving already. Just booting this. Alright, so I don't know what the controls are here. Oh, D-pad doesn't work. That could be a problem. Let's see. Extras. Extreme Lab Metroids. There's all sorts of stuff. Plays the in-game timer. Input shader. That seems cool. The graphics in this look really nice, though. I don't know that we need any weird shaders or anything like that. Control options, 2-button toggle. I want to enable classic north button. Music's a little loud. I think I can do something like that. How's that? Is that better? Better? Good. Joypad settings. What are... Button 36? Get out of here with this button 36. It's button 36. Okay, well, button 36 is none of the buttons that I know. Controllers has 2, 4, 4, 4, 2. There's 14 buttons. It doesn't have 36 buttons. What this is. I don't know what any of this is. You know what? Let's just play it. I think I played it with the keyboard the first time around, so I didn't have to mess with all this. It's fine. So yeah, random games, the randomizer mode, that's pretty neat. But we're just gonna play a normal game. On normal. here. The music in this, by the way, is amazing. Correct. It is the Return of Samus. This came out before Samus Returns. Excellent version of the theme of Samus. Alright, so AM2R takes Metroid 2 and kind of remakes it in the style of Zero Mission. That's toggle missiles, shoot, jump, quick morph, flame up, down. Walk. Moonwalk, great. The aesthetics and the mechanics are based on Zero Mission, but the music is based on the Prime series, as you can hear. It's pretty cool. Great soundtrack. The original had a great soundtrack too, although it was very sparse, and oftentimes just used environmental noise and that sort of thing. I feel like there's a shortcut up here, right? Oh, guess not. That's fine. Yeah, if you've never seen this, it's largely because it was mostly taken off the internet, at least taken off, you know, from front-facing blogs and that sort of thing. If you go looking around, you can still find it, as I did recently when I found out that it had a new update. And the reason I'm playing this now is because today, I believe, is the 10-year anniversary of Metroid Other M. That. No idea what that was. Yeah, it's 10-year anniversary of Other M. And instead of thinking about that incredibly disappointing game, I wanted to play a good Metroid game instead. And this game has some really good design stuff, like that enemy. They have it spawn in coming out of the wall to show you where the secret is. That's just really smart. Good stuff. I'm gonna use some missiles. Start with 30 missiles this game. It's nice that Samus kept some of her stuff from the Prime trilogy. So yeah, here's one place where all the versions of the game disappear. Or, not disappear, but disagree. So in this version, you've got lava. In the new version, in Samus Returns rather, there's kind of this acidic goop. And in the original, it's just called like the liquid. And the liquid, or lava, or whatever it is, rises and falls based on how many Metroids you destroy. In this, in the original, it's just kind of, you know, not understood the mechanism behind this, but they actually gave a backstory to it in Samus Returns. That was kind of neat. Uh-oh. N. Alright, so this game comes with scans. That's scanning like in the Prime series, which is great. And yeah, checkpoints fully restore you, I believe. So, see, the Alpha Metroid has gained immunity to cold temperatures. What a jerk. Lost several nuclei within the green membrane, left it vulnerable to concussive weaponry. Faded exoskeleton partially covers it. Burdens from the molting of its larval form. Though aggressive, it's relatively weak. And kind of dumb. Yeah, there's a bunch of this lore. It's stuff from the instruction manual. Research team. This is all stuff that was in the original menu. Yeah, the menus are nice. I always forget which one is select versus back. You can see you got Metroids, dominant species, they hunt for all energy, highly resistant to conventional weaponry, etc. Small number of Metroids let loose on a populated planet will lead to the extinction of any present life form. Yeah, the Metroids can only evolve on SR-388. This is their home world. That's why Biologic Space Labs recreated the SR-388 ecosystem. Oh, hang on. I have bad time here. It's weird controlling this with a thumbstick, not a D-pad. See, in the original there is, I believe, a recharge station up there, but you don't need them in this game because the save points also act as recharge stations. Feeding that Metroid caused an earthquake, and you can see yeah, lava drains. How strange. And there's a scan on that. Scan on. There we go. Earthquakes. Massive cake system is located between two tectonic plates flooded by a dense and caustic substance similar to magma. Recent earthquake has altered the cave layout. Hazardous substances drained to lower levels. The cause of the earthquake is unknown. The orbital scan of SR-388 detected no instability. Absolutely no instabilities. Perfectly fit as a homeworld. Inquire today. You too could have lava beachside property on SR-388. We promise you won't be eaten by Metroids, or worse. Oops. I like that the kind of the water texture dims a little bit when you're in the water, so you can see what's going on. There's just like a lot of little details and touches that make the game play. It's really polished, basically, is what I'm getting at. God, it's nice to be able to go right. If I was using my old controller, we wouldn't be able to do this at all. Wouldn't go right. Yep, we got those ledge grabs from Zero Mission Infusion. Tremendously useful. Yep, since they start me off with so many missiles, better believe I'm going to use them on things that would normally sponge stuff up. I guess it doesn't take as much to destroy these things as it did in any of the other versions of Metroid 2. scanning. Four enemy Metroids. Yeah, instead of giving you the entire number, it just tells you how many are in your current area. If you want the entire number, though, you can get it here. There's 46. 46 Metroids left. The goal, of course, is to destroy them all. Oh, this is not good. These weird things that kind of look like Samus's helmet. I forget what they're called. Maybe there's a scan. Of species. Oh, extreme caution is advised. That's useful. Yeah, you can't fall into the Fanta. Willy Wonka's not going to have your back on that. That's the line from the movie. Oh no, please come back. Ah, this is a great atmospheric track. These enemies, I believe, are called Gaurons. Not to be confused with the Klingon Chancellor. Okay, we got this. Ooh, let's scan. Golden Temple. Temple stands at the base of a hollow mountain. Statues, carved stones, and solid design attest that the structure was built to be a sanctuary, possibly with religious significance. Temples withstood the test of time, showing the building knowledge and expertise. Gozo. Scans detect the presence of stationary robotic enemies placed at strategic points inside the structure. No control signals are detected. Units operating autonomously. Anything but that. I hate it when my units operate autonomously. First place we want to be going is down here. Dang it, that unit's operating autonomously. The loose cannon, literally. Aiming up is a bit tough today. Alright, so first item is bombs. I believe you can bomb jump in this game. Yeah, you can. Totally can. Alright. But you can't get out of here without the bombs. Alright, check the map. We go this way now. Now, in the original game, this E-Tank is just there, just sitting there. They at least put a puzzle in that requires the use of the bombs in this one. And that's one of the things I like about this game, is that a bunch of stuff that's just left out in the open, a lot of it becomes a little more meaningful in this remake. And it's also just really creative, while also being really faithful to the original. It's amazing how much of a balance they managed to strike here. Well, I say they, it's mostly the work of one dude. Although I suppose the updates were worked on by a lot more dude. Now, this is a change from the original. In this room, in the original game, you would get the ice beam. But the thing with the original game is that every time you picked up a beam, it overwrote the rest of them. You could only have one beam at the same time. As a result, there were more ice beams and plasma beams, etc. Throughout the game. And it had to be that way because if you... Basically, you can't beat the game without the ice beam, because you have to be able to freeze Metroid, the last segment, as is tradition. Now, the charge beam is not introduced till Super Metroid, so having it here at all is a change, but it's a welcome one. The charge beam is just great to have around. I don't know what I'd do without it. Probably less damage. Yeah, like here. In the original, it was just there. You just pick it up. It wasn't even hidden. These, though, are mostly the same, although they're a little easier to pick up because you've got the, This is a neat little puzzle. This one I don't think was in there at all. I think that's just an added missile. Alright, so that's the next upgrade we're chasing. It's the Spider Ball. What it's doing there, the world may never know. But I'm still going to loot it. This game plays so well. I haven't played the GBA Metroid games in a while, so I completely forgot how good the physics are. I'm just gonna collect a couple items first. In particular, I want that energy tank. Just a little puzzle there. And it's neat, because there's no need to have a puzzle there. You could just leave the stuff in plain sight. But they just added more stuff to the game. They really fleshed it out. And that's part of why I appreciate this product. So, not product, because this is free. It's a project, rather. That's the word I'm looking for. When this came out, the prevailing opinion, as it often was, these cases, is, well, Nintendo should just buy it and release it as an actual game. Business does not work that way, however. And so, see indeed, and that was it, but also not it. I have no idea what this thing is. Feels new. Yeah, Spider Ball. Oh yeah, and they've got a thing that tells you how many items you've collected of each type. That's real handy. Got the spider ball, stick to walls and ceilings. Just toggled that. Which button toggles that? There it is. Makes a satisfying kind of sound. I'm going to go up here and try to bomb this guy. The platform of some kind. How weird. Yes, he is a friend. Also, this is a really good remix of the original song for this area. Temple area. Yeah, I don't remember that enemy being there the last time I played this. The last time I played this is when it came out and it was on version 1.0. So anything could have happened between now and then. So one thing that wasn't great about the original Metroid, or the original Metroid 2 rather, is that so many of the Metroid fights took place in the same nondescript cave. And this game kind of creates better environments, I think, for the Metroid battles that make them a lot more enjoyable and challenging. And they did the same Samus Returns. Not sure which did it better in that case. I think this was overall a much more creative game, and I think I enjoy it more than Samus Returns. But they're both very good. I recommend both. Another one. I think I might have accidentally set a map marker that I should have. Hang on. Yeah, you can set map waypoints and the like in this version of the game. Which is good because it's a lot more windy and backtracky than the original. The original Metroid 2 is not super great. In retrospect, it did not hold up well. It's definitely a game in need of remaking because it's fairly linear and it's got that same issue as the original Metroid. There's a lot of samey corridors and caverns and the like. Save real. It really, really needed a remake. And as much as I like the original, I wouldn't say that it's... I don't even think it's one of the best games on the Game Boy. It's not a top 5 Game Boy game. That's for sure. I really can't recommend playing it. Hi, Jen. What is up? Is up. Nice to see everybody on this happy Monday. All things considered, things are going alright. My bitrate tanked a little bit there for a moment. You might notice a hiccup, too. Was having kind of a rough Monday, but video games are helping. Yeah, original Metroid 2 was good, but it's not an all-time great. And it's not even one of the greats on the system it originally came out on. As for what my top 5... yeah, I'm doing alright, I'd say. Today was... so I just got off a 4-day weekend. Uh-oh. Breeding ground. Custom-built ecosystem that favors the growth of Metroid, so that's not good. Corrosive tentacles. Also not good. That ought to let YouTube know the stream isn't for children. Ugh. Yeah, I spent most of today just catching up on stuff. No, I took a 4-day weekend last weekend, and it was lovely. But you know, when you get back from taking a couple days off plus the weekend, you can just get buried in stuff all day. And so I am happy for the escape right about now. Don't want to touch the tentacles. They will dissolve you like acid. It's not good. Oh, no. Way too soon for the Super Metroid. That'd be crazy talk. Weird extra flora and fauna's been in. But this section is very similar to the original. These the particular Metroid breeding grounds are almost exactly the same, but they have modified the platform layout here in the actual arena to make it more difficult. I want to make sure you have all those missile expansions. If you don't, you could run out easily down here. Need to remember I don't have the melee counter from Samus Returns. What are you doing, Metroid? So I mentioned at the start of the show that this is the anniversary of Other M. But as bad as Other M was, a lot of it wasn't... it's mostly like story and mechanic related, or rather story and story mechanic integration. That was really bad. Some of the basic gameplay stuff was really fun. And one of the things that was neat about it was the counter system, where you could dodge out of the way of stuff, get a full charge, and sometimes put an alien in a headlock and blast it. Gonna play Other M? No, I'm not. I don't think so. I don't think so. But I will point out that that counter system was really good and was used in Samus Returns, the official remake, Metroid 2. I don't think I could sit through Other M again. Like, maybe if I just skipped every single cutscene, I could do it. Because a lot of the gameplay is pretty fun. The map design's not good. It's very linear, you get locked out of stuff really easily and the like. But the moment-to-moment play, I think, was fun. Metroid that tracks flies and everyone knows it causes earthquakes. I'll buy that. There's nothing in the scan files that says that's wrong, so who knows? Now, one of the reasons that I like this better than Samus Returns is that it does things like this all the time and introduces cool new bosses. Open the logbook. Ancient Guardian. Sentry deploys spike barriers and corners targets into firing range. Archaic design constrains it to operate at low power, preventing simultaneous use of shield and mobility systems. This of energy weapons with unique patterns. Calibrated to detect foreign creatures bearing stolen equipment, like the bombs and charge beam that I picked up. As earthquakes damage the traction of the unit and spike barriers, remains a considerable threat. Also, kick-ass boss music. Okay. Yeah, this game has a lot of neat, creative bosses. That were not in the original game. And Samus Returns doesn't do enough of this, is my opinion. Oops. And they're really good at, like, basically faking super high stress situations. Oops. Ah, I keep unmorphing. Why is that happening? Here we go. Now let me just head up here fast. I think I can get a missile expansion I'm not supposed to have yet. And that pleases me. Oops. That does not please me. No! Oh, that's terrible. Can't believe it. Yeah, this new controller is really good, but it's also really sensitive. I can see myself doing a bunch of stuff that I don't actually want to do. That's better, though. Oh, the missile. Oh, and it gave me a full refill as well. Yeah, max missiles is 255, I believe. Yeah, it is a lot of missiles, but you need a lot of missiles. since they are exclusively what you can use on Metroids. Since this doesn't take into account the fusion retcon, where you can use the Ice Beam on the Omega Metroid at the end. Samus Returns does. It lets you use Ice Beam on Metroids at all stages of development, including the final one, as it were. There's a free missile there, but go up here, you will see that, well, we can't really go up there. We'll need more items for that later on. Oh yeah. So they've added some new stuff and made some existing stuff work differently. So like in Super Metroid, if you do that, you know, it fires the burst. But in this version of the game, you can like send that stuff flying. It has momentum. Pretty cool. I'm trying to remember if this is the one that has like the vertical line, or if that was Samus Returns. I think it was Samus Returns. Yeah, and yeah, I can't do this yet either. Yeah, in Samus Returns, there's a thing that instead of like bomb jumping off huge vertical shafts, you can just make like a charged bomb line to blast yourself up. It's pretty neat. Now, you got me wondering, I wonder if I still have my copy of it. Well, surprise! Metroid jump scare. Little curious. Hydro Station. So another thing that's great about this game is that it's faithful to the original, but it also interprets the areas in a creative way that I think really fits. Like turning this section into a essentially a hydroelectric power dam. Yeah, the hiding in solid rock thing is a little worrisome. I think it was hiding there trying to evolve. Just disturbed it, or it could. It's good, I'm glad we did that. Alright, I'm going to start up here, because the first upgrade that I want is the Spring Ball, which I believe is in this area. I'd like to think, at least, got enough HP for it. Oh man, that's a great read of the Brinstar jungle area. I'm sure there's nothing wrong here, but where's my dang item? Where is it? Is it Torizo? Nope. Nope. It's Arachnus. So this guy in the original game is very easy to just miss him completely and not be able to get him at all. Let's see, so he's a territorial organism. Armored Hides is very resilient, requires a high voltage discharge to harm. Anything less will only agitate it. Bombs might be able to prevail it. Scans detected has acquired a Chozo relic. Well, I'm going to have to acquire Chozo relic. But you can't actually damage it. With your missiles, you can only make it mad, which you want to do. Why do I keep unmorphing? I'm gonna die if I keep unmorphing. But instead, you know, we clutch it. And pick up the spring ball. I love the spring ball. Being able to jump around in ball form is extremely cool. It also makes using the spider ball a lot easier. Alright. Oh no. Someone busted up the save station. Alright, so while we're listening to this chill music, let me give you my, I don't have the tier list maker here, but let me give you my top 5 Game Boy games of all time. Number 5 is Donkey Kong 94. Love Donkey Kong 94. It's a great kind of action puzzle game, and the moves that they gave to Mario in that game kind of defined what he does in Super Mario 64. So it's really important overall. I think the Metroid Breeding Grounds is this way. It's not that easy. Number 4 is Wario Land, the first Wario Land. I think it's the best platformer on the system. So I know some people swear by Wario Land 2, but I was never really that big of a fan of it. Although it was very creative. Wario Land 2 is a good game. I still prefer the original, though. I think it's better. Let's drain this water a little. Yeah, you don't want to get run into this propeller thing. That would be poor. We're going to blow it up. Number 3 is Final Fantasy Legend 2. Or Saga 2 if you prefer. Talk about that game a lot, but I've been thinking about it even more lately because of the Collection of Mana announcement. Love that game. Great replay value, and it does everything that any other Game Boy RPG did at the time. Like, you don't need Pokemon. If you want to have an adventure where you go and fight with all the monsters in the game, you don't need Pokemon. You just play Final Fantasy Legend 2 again, because you can do that in that game. Screw attack blocks. Like, everything you want is in Legend 2 except levels. You gotta get to Legend 3 if you want levels. Number 2 is Tetris. I think that's fairly self-explanatory. Oh. Attacking me in the water. And then the best Game Boy game, in my opinion, is Link's Awakening. Link's Awakening is just... it's just great. I think even though they made that remake of it, and the remake of it's really good, I still think the original holds up really well. And that's the thing with those 5 games, they hold up today. Whereas I would say that Pokemon doesn't, this doesn't, or rather Metroid 2 doesn't. But those 5, I can go back and play them whenever. I'm doing this again, huh? No items. Oh. Well, here's where they got all the spheres, right? Nice sphere repository. You gotta bomb these spheres, though. Speaking of sphere rooms, there's one of these in Final Fantasy Legend. There's a room full of spheres. Nice. Oh, I love that cutscene. They do the black and white transformation. That's so good. Oh, I totally forgot about that. That's a great animation. I love that. Alright, so that place with the spinning motors, let me just go by that again. We need to get to the horizontal tracking of that. I believe that's where the wave beam is. Gotta get there. Important thing about Final Fantasy Legends, so you know the old stereotype of RPGs about how they're about a group of teenagers that are climbing towers and killing God? That's not a generalization of the entire genre. That is specifically Final Fantasy Legend, or the first Saga game. It's very explicitly exactly that game, because that's what you do in that game. Although, that's invoked a little bit. I don't know if you played Tales of Symphonia. Tales of Symphonia also has a tower that needs to be climbed and a god that needs to be killed. Right. I gotta get down. I can do it over here. But I gotta get down. Oh, okay, no, I see what I need to do. I need to go around. It's fine. That's fine. Kind of amazing that Final Fantasy Legend is the one that is the game that got the stereotype going. But then again, it was also the first million seller, I believe, for Square Enix, or the first RPG, first Final Fantasy game that sold 1 million copies. If I'm remembering the lore correctly. Oh, he's learned a new trick. Learned a new trick. Didn't do much good, though. Samus wins again. Well, that's with the best, as it were. Oh, hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on. I believe it's hidden through here. Oh, it's spinning. Oh. Well, I'm busy being part of that spinning. Yeah, wave beam. A little weird seeing it without Spazer, but it is. Still get a multi-shot out of it, though. And I believe it also increases the attack of the beam. Hang on. Don't have to go back through the spin cycle, thankfully. Give him the old zap. I think we get something else here. What do we get? High jump boots? High jump boots sounds right. Three missiles. Suppose we also get that. Here we go. Yeah, this is another case where in the original game, just there, just free, you just got it, as opposed to having to explore, see what's going on. I'm really happy with how they addressed kind of the throwaway pickups. Wave beam is good for scouting out where the breakable blocks are. If there are any. Yeah, I gotta get around the other. I think this is the high jump. Oops. I also like how they tried to make the pillars make sense by having these little plating things between them to connect them. A lot of things didn't make sense about SR-388 in the original game. And I like how they tried to, you know, without breaking the established lore, make a little more sense of it. Nice. This is a little different, I think. Alright, let's see. Free stuff. Alright, where haven't I gone yet? Yeah, missing up there. And then I have to go into the breeding ground area and fight Metroids. They've kind of got this delineation going where there's the parts where you explore and you find items, and then there's the parts where you fight. None of this is going as planned. No. As always, I'm bad with this, this sort of area. With lots of things you can fall off of. Never changed, no matter what genre I'm playing. He's gone. He jumped off the cliff. It is relaxing. I think the soundtrack does a lot for making the game really chill. I love this soundtrack. Metroid always has great music, but this is especially good. I save real fast. No reason. I don't suspect anything horrible is going to happen. Why would it ever? I don't actually know how to get that. Definitely 100% of this game. Every time I played it. Who knows? That's fine. I don't need that 5 missiles that badly. I'm probably not going to 100% aim. It's given my control situation and how sensitive the stick is towards a lot of things, I don't know that it's really possible for me to get all the items. You'll see why later. It involves an item that was not in the original and wasn't introduced until Super Metroid. Oops. Alright, went into the Metroid fight zone. Dissolving tentacles everywhere. Hate it when that happens. Heck of a battle. Looks a little bigger, doesn't it? Maybe a little bigger than the previous alphas. I wonder what the symbiotic... how this relationship between the tendrils and the Metroids work. Do the tendrils, like, catch food for them? And they suck the life out of it? Remember that one, free energy tank. It's gotta take a little bit of damage. A lot of open space here. This is a bit of a tough arena. Whew. Someone's dog's having work. When I was on my evening walk yesterday, there was some real Twilight Bark action going. Like, dogs from all over the neighborhood were just woofing at each other. I had no idea why. I realize that might be a dated reference. Does you know what I mean when I say Twilight Bark? It's not like Robert Pattinson Twilight. Batman is the case, maybe. It's 101 Dalmatians. Still nasty arena. Oh. He's got little hands. He's got arms. Evolving. Oh no. You just hate to see it. Alright, this is the Gamma Metroid. It's the second stage of Metroid Evolution. They can shoot you with lightning. Lovely, ain't they? Let's see. The legs have reached maximum length. They're unsuitable for locomotion, but they can still grab you and suck the life out of you, as Metroids are known to do. I'm real trouble hitting this dude. Now, unfortunately for us, most of the Metroids going forward are going to be like that, in increasingly unpleasant scenarios. It's a little rough. Now, one thing I do have to say, in Samus Returns credit, Samus Returns credit, is that their Metroid fights in that game, I think, are excellent. And having that melee counter ability that they modified from Other M makes those fights way better and lets them do some more interesting stuff with them. Up here. Can't get through that door yet. I don't remember where that is. I think it's like an area where there are fast travel elevator stations that let you go wherever you want. I think that's the doorway. Open that up in this sector. I think the last Metroid's up here. Yes. Now this one's still regular alpha. Yeah, luckily they don't all get to evolve as soon as you get to a Gamma. Just fixed ones are Gammas. I like the way they introduced the Gammas in this one, though, with, like, you fight the Metroid that would normally be a Gamma in the original game, but it isn't one. Then you walk out to the left and surprise, here he is. Maybe use a little more speed on the spider ball, though. I wonder, how do I get there? I'm gonna have another go trying to get that missile tank. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but I do want it. The only thing Samus does better than genociding entire alien species and destroying planets is steal everything and everything. I legit don't. Be a question for future me. Or maybe not at all. Those 5 missiles aren't going to make or break the game, I don't. Alright, on to the next area. 34 Metroids left, and 49 at the start. We'll probably get about halfway through by the time it's bedtime. Traveling around in ball form. I think you get the Spazer here. Maybe I'll just wait for that to drain before I try to get the item. If you don't know, the small circle on the map screen in the corner means there's an item, but you haven't gotten it yet. And the dot is there was an item anyway. It's kind of the standard Metroid fare ever since Zero Mission and a Fusion. Wasn't that way in Super though. Aha! Speed booster. Yeah, this is why I'm not going to be able to 100% it, I think. At least not with the controller. Speed boosting is going to be hell. Like if I run and just hit down, it's not always very difficult to get the exact input to run and crouch and save the Shine Spark. That's going to be probably out of the question. Hopefully I'll be able to actually complete the game. I think this is also the area where you get Space Jump? I want to say Space Jump. It's great because I love the Space Jump. That item originated in Metroid 2. It's still awesome to this day. Like, infinite jumps? Space Jump is right for you. Aha! Space Jump. Yeah, Space Jump lets you jump infinitely as long as your timing is great. It's awesome. It's also protected. So if you remember the first boss of Super Metroid, the Torizo guarding the bombs, here's another one. Construction of advanced types of sentries was performed exclusively by the most gifted. Created with biological matter and mechanical components, this makes it difficult to reliably calculate its combat abilities. That's a fancy way of saying, yeah, you think you know what Torizo fights are like, but we got something special for you. Of course, you gotta get through... Gotta get through phase 1 first, before you can see. Right? Nice. But no. It also has a jetpack and can fly. And as you can see, spikes are coming out of the floor. So you must take to the air to fight this thing. It gives you a little bit of that Storm Eagle action. But if it stands there and uses its spawning ability, it leaves itself open to just a huge barrage of missiles and you're going to get it. So yeah, that fight was not in the original game. Added for this, and it's a pretty good one, I think. I remember the first time I played that fight, and Phase 2 started, and the ceiling broke open. I was pretty hyped for that. I thought it was way cool. Now we have the space jump. Do whatever we want, really. A lot faster. Investigate the walls of the caverns like this. Really slow with the space jump, or with the spider ball. Industrial complex. Those worker drones tasked with supplying SR-388's facilities with replacement parts to keep them running autonomously. Also, the robots want to fight you. Super missile door. That's kind of a nice hint as to what we get up to next. Let's see. And not all of the sand destroyed. Before we go down there, oh. Yeah, these big vertical areas are a little better for fighting gammas. You really want to get them above you. Still tough, though. Alright, let's... dumbbell-looking things. I think we're getting the speed booster first. Well, that's a cool little graphic with the little tiny booster. I like that. That is good sprite work. Speed booster does this. Also, the sprite work on these enemies, as you know, they get destroyed as you more damage to them, it's exceptional. It's there. Oh, there we go. Maybe it's not too bad. Alright, what you're meant to do here is... Ah. Bombs are pretty strong in this game, huh? Wasn't too bad. Alright. So here, you're going to want the space jump. Speed booster isn't quite going to do it for you thanks to distance between the walls, but also the spikes. Next up, should be getting the Spazer. Gonna make beam attacks way better. Missile attacks very strong. The opening segments of, but the beams get way better once you get the Spazer. There we go. Energy tank. Can't go wrong with energy tanks. Especially in this game where a lot of damage can be done very fast. Now looking at this, it feels like the SAX is going to come after me. Out. Now, these robots don't need to explode. This one might have to explode, though. It's a little directly in the way. Kind of a Norfair looking area here. Let's say this is the exact opposite of where you want to fight a Gamma Metroid. This is, of course, why they put one here. Please. Oh. How to get out blocks. Oh. That was kind of awful. It's not the good stuff. Oh, okay, yeah. No, this part's great. You get to take control of one of these robots and find, like, an old super missile dump. Now, when I first saw this part, I thought what was going to happen was, you know, you're just going to you're going to bring super missiles over to Samus. It's a little cooler than that. Gotta be careful not to blow yourself up. I think I need one more. Oops. That should do it. Yeah, super missiles. Now I can cycle through my missiles. Super missiles are great. You don't get them in as big of a quantity as you did in Super Metroid, though. Probably for the best, since they're wildly powerful. Oop indeed. Oops. Oh no, the blocks are generated. Yeah. Thought I was gonna get it. Oh, there we go. That's what we're looking for. We want just straight at that wall. And I can do that. There we go. Got a message. Maybe it's not too bad. The input's a little weird. It's a little weirder than I was expecting it to be using the analog stick, but it's surprisingly responsive. It's a lot more responsive than it was before I had the speed boost. So maybe getting the speed booster changes the way Samus handles a bit. I kind of wish I got in the spacer first. Something hidden up here? Oh, a speed booster block, huh? Okay. Perfection. Perfection. Well, speaking of purr, I learned new lore about one of the cats that hangs out in my apartment complex. Turns out that this cat has a twin, possibly evil, that is identical. It's entirely possible that the reason that whenever I meet this cat, it's kind of a hot and cold affair. Sometimes the cat likes me, sometimes the cat hates me. Could be that I was meeting different cats each time. I didn't realize it because they look exactly the same. I didn't know that there were two of them until, I guess, a couple weeks at this point, when they were both sitting in the window of their apartment, instead of just one, because normally you only see one at a time. And this is the first time I've ever seen them both together, and it floored me. I couldn't believe it. Phaser beam. It's now time for Crab. Why the Spazer is held by a crab? I don't know. Maybe because he's got pincers? Pincers, as it were? Who knows? Speaking of crabs, Has anybody played the final retail version of Fight Crab? I know it's out now, at least on PC, and I know it's coming to Switch soon. But I've only ever seen the demo played, and it looked kind of fun, but also kind of janky. And I'm wondering if it's if it has improved. Am I going to adopt them? Oh no, they have a family. They have a family. You can barely tell because they don't wear collars at all, but they have a nice home. They are good kitties. Hourglass. Alright. Maybe I'll try out Fight Crab this month. There's a lot of games coming out this month. There's a lot of good stuff. At the very least, a lot of stuff that looks good. Okay, this month has... got Fight Crab, it's got Paradise Killer, it's got 13... oops, I wasted a super missile. That's it. Got 13 Sentinels. I'm trying to remember if some of the other stuff is this month or next month. There's a bunch of games. That's in addition to the stuff I've already got lined up. I'd like to finish Mortal Shell, hoping that the rest of the boss fights are better than that one guy. You know, by hell point. Ah. We got him with one of the supers anyways, which helped. Right, I think everything in this segment. Go back, finish off the breeding grounds. Could really go for more super missiles, but I think they are stingy with them this game. If I recall. Years since I played this. Let's go back to start. Where you got a speed boost from to get through here? Guess you got to get on that platform. Maybe you just... No, either way, it's fine. You don't really need a speed boost. Just get style points for doing it. this area. Okay, I remember. Ooh. Yeah, 2 supers can take out Gamma Metroid, so you really want to make him count. Even if you take a little bit of damage, it's much more expedient. Let me go up first. Perhaps not. Up is boring. Let's not go up. Go down. Ah, he dodged. What a jerk. Not like this grab attack. It reminds me of that kick attack from Mortal Shell the other night. I don't know how big of a fan I was of that. This one. I wonder if you can Shine Spark a Metroid to death. Probably not. And they likely don't give you the runway to try. That's one of the things that I'd like... I just wonder. That'd be pretty cool. If you could just Shine Spark through a Metroid and obliterate it. Oh. Thought for sure that super was going to connect. God, I'm so diligent in collecting energy tanks. I am rubbish at this fight. Come on. This is a little different in the original. In the original, you had to fight the Alpha, I think, and the Gamma in area that's kind of filled with a destructible honeycomb. You had to destroy the honeycomb. You could attack the Metroid, but it could just move straight through it and attack you. Those Nintendo hates you, I guess. I do wonder when they're going to actually have, like, a regular Direct. I liked the Partner Direct, just because it had Saga Collection of Saga. I wasn't a fan of the 90% rhythm game going on. They do one that next now. The first anniversary of Astral Chain was yesterday, I think. I had read at least that Kamiya was on Twitter, just posted stuff. Allegedly posted Astral Chain 2. Just Astral Chain 2. Now, nobody can confirm that this was even. So I'm gonna... I'd like to be optimistic about it, but I think it was probably fake. But I've been thinking a lot about Astral Chain again lately. I would love to play another game with those mechanics. Platinum Games with JoJo Stand? Very good. Very good. I like that game a lot. I could go for it. It's hard to find, hard to get item in here. There's like a shine spark in the dark kind of deal you gotta do. Here it is. Maybe it isn't that hard. Oh no, here we go, yeah. How am I supposed to get that? Doesn't respawn. So, try to get this straight. I got to. Oops. Just about it, though. I want to land, I think, there. Park across. There we go. Definitely gotta get many super missiles as you can. Vitally important. It's starting to die. That's fine. We're just about done with this section. We'll finish off the last Metroid. Get to the save point. Oh, we'll be almost exactly at a normal stopping time too. Almost. Oh. Now that I think of it, yeah, that one is very similar to the original game. Although in the original game, no super missiles. Or stuck trying to get them with the gold, big pile of regular missiles. Look, there should be a shortcut out. Ah. Sort of is. That's acceptable. I like how the music kind of calms down a little bit after all the Metroids are gone. A little more chill. Oh yeah, that's super missed. Alright. Well, it's 11 o'clock. Got to a great stopping point. I think that's going to do it for me tonight. I had a lot of fun tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed AM2R, the Secret Forbidden Metroid 2 remake. I think it's an excellent game. If you just happen to find it somewhere on the internet, don't know where that could possibly be, but if you did find it, I would highly recommend playing it. Free, it's very good. And see. Means that I will see yins on Friday night. Have a good night, everyone. Later.